Hi folks, and welcome to Schick Happens. In this Schick short series, I'm going to share with you 5 tips that will help build and maintain a healthy marriage with your wife. Tip number 5. On occasion, offer to do the dishes. But pick and choose when you offer to do the dishes. What I like to do is offer to do the dishes when we order out. You're either eating from a paper plate or a box. But you have to be careful here. You need to make sure there are some utensils that do in fact need to be washed afterwards. But that's okay. A couple forks or a knife or a pizza cutter, that's easily handled. And if you do this sporadic enough and pick the correct days, you'll look like a king offering to do the dishes on occasion. And speaking of dishes, I'm going to toss laundry in here too. But see, for the laundry thing to work, is early on in your relationship, you need to offer to do the laundry. She'll think the world of you. Wow, a guy that wants to do the laundry? I'm all for that. But for this ploy to work, you have to, when she's not watching, pick out all the items that are 100% cotton. Then when you throw them in the wash, put it on the hottest water setting you can. Run it through 2 cycles. And then when you take it out, put it in the dryer on the hottest setting possible on several cycles. And then these extra large shirts that come out to be a kid's small, ages 5 to 6, you'll never have to worry about doing laundry again. She will insist, nope, stay away from the laundry. But if you do that early on in the relationship and you made an effort to do the laundry, you can always throw that out whenever you want. Tip number 4. What if your wife is a horrible cook? I mean bad. Say she makes a lasagna. She's proud of it, serves it to you, and it tastes like stale Pop-Tarts doused in ketchup. What do? Well, what you do is you eat it. You eat it, you smile, and you say, this is some of the best lasagna I've ever had. But the trick, or tip to this, is what you need to do is think of the worst tasting food you've ever had in your life. For me, I think it might be dried fermented fish. Horrible, horrible stuff. So you keep a little stash, hidden away of course, from the wife, of this foul, nasty tasting food that you absolutely can't stand. And right before dinner, supper, lunch, brunch, whatever, when she's not looking, sneak a little bite of that. Choke it down 2-3 minutes before you eat. Trust me, you'll get through anything your wife cooks. Tip number 3. Your wife plans something for you and her to do 3-4 weeks ago. It's something you don't want to do. You're not looking forward to it. You probably completely forgot about it. And then when that day arrives, a buddy of yours calls 45 minutes before you're supposed to leave and wants to come out and have a few beers. You really don't want to do this thing with your wife. You kind of want to hang out and have a few beers with your buddy. How do you get out of it? Well, one thing you can't do is tell her, you know, I don't feel good. I don't think I'm up to this trip today. Why don't we plan it for another weekend? That ain't gonna fly. Especially if your buddy shows up 45 minutes later and you want to drink beer with him. You gonna turn him away? So what you need to do is you need to, as sympathetic as you can, tell your wife, honey, I completely forgot. So-and-so is supposed to come over, insert name, today, and he'll be here in an hour to discuss how he's going to help me get this project done for you. See, so here, what you need to do is you need to have a project in mind, a large project that your wife wanted done. She's been asking you to do this for maybe a year, but it requires two people. You need the assistance of another person that can help you complete this project. So what you do is you tell her immediately, he's coming over to discuss this. I completely forgot to tell you about it. But if you'd really like this done, I got to take advantage of his help. Now, granted, we're not going to get the project done today, but I need to discuss how we're going to do this with him and then set up a time frame for us to get this done. I mean, this thing you want to go to, we can do that anytime. It's not going anywhere. But I know that deck you wanted built off the back of the house, we can make this happen. But I need his input. I need to discuss everything with him and get this figured out. And see, more than likely, her desire to have this big project done is going to completely overshadow the 3 weeks of planning that she has to go to the park or the zoo or whatever she had planned. That will outweigh it. Now, of course, when your buddy comes over, you're just going to drink beer and there is no planning of any project. But that's beside the point. Tip number 2. When the wife asks you to fix something, don't give her a lame excuse that you can't get to it or it's just not happening right now. And then over the next few hours, you're watching YouTube or your favorite sports channel, or you go fishing for a few hours. That ain't gonna cut it. The correct approach would be, without hesitation, say, sure, honey, I can get it fixed. But for me to do that, I'm gonna need, and then here's what you do. You insert your favorite tool that you need a new one of, or a tool you don't have. And then you tell her, yeah, sure, I'd love to fix it. I'll get right on it. But I need a new handheld router. I mean, if you want it done right, this is what I need. This is the proper tool that I need to make that happen. More often than not, she'll agree to these terms. It's a win-win. Sure, you'll have to fix whatever she wants fixed, but you get a brand new tool. Tip number 1. If your wife walks out wearing a new outfit and she asks you, does this make me look fat? First and foremost, you have to understand there is no answer to that. It's a loaded question. No matter how you answer that question, you're going to find yourself in trouble. If you do feel like you have to answer that question, and you think you got the right response, don't hesitate. Don't allow a 3-4 second gap to occur between the time she asks that till the time you provide an answer. You're going to be in trouble before you even open your mouth. The simplest way I've found to answer this is to simply say immediately, honey, you look just fine. But the key to doing that is not making direct eye contact. as soon as you mention it, you kind of have to pretend like your mind is preoccupied with something extremely important that you have to tend to, and you just kind of say it in passing. That will usually get you out of it. I mean, there might be out there somewhere other responses you could give, that you could get a free pass. I guess it just depends on your wife's mentality or intelligence or sense of humor. I mean, you could say, honey, you look great. As a matter of fact, it's a little loose on you. You've been losing weight. If you continue down this road, you're going to be so skinny that if you get a sunburn on your back, your stomach will peel. And here's a bonus tip on top of the 5 tips I've already provided for you. Get you some Post-it notes. You can pick them up anywhere, at any store, dirt cheap. Buy them by the gross. You're going to need them. Let me give you an example. When the wife tells you on a Monday at 5 o'clock that she's going to get her hair done that following Friday, write it down. The minute she's not looking, write down wife haircut Friday. Because Monday at 10 after 5, you're going to completely forget about it. But the trick here is, as soon as you write down this note that she's getting her hair done, you need to put that in a spot that you're going to see every single day until she comes home with her hair done. Because if you don't, outside of her coming home with a mohawk, not only are you going to forget, you're not going to notice she got her hair done. So I strongly recommend getting Post-it notes. Thanks for hanging out with me on this Schick short series. I hope these tips will provide some value in your life. And stay tuned for some more. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe.